Hi everyone. So this is the student view of Flipgrid. It looks a little different now, but that's okay if you've seen it before. If you haven't seen it before, this is just the Flipgrid. All right, so there's a couple things here. You see here's the topic and then here are our instructions. So if you click on this little book right here, takes you out to Immersive Reader. This is a really great tool. So if you pop down here, it'll
Tell us your
play.
favorite color.
You can edit the voice settings. You can change the speed here. You can do a female or a male voice. Up here, you can change some of the things. You can change the font size. You can change it to different font styles. And this is all on the student end. So they would be doing this on their own. You can change the theme, and there are more colors here. Then you could go back to. This is just the code formatting, so don't worry about that. If you click on here, you can isolate it by syllables. You can change it by part of speech. So you can make this a whole interactivity on its own. Identify the nouns, identify the verbs, identify the adjectives, and you can have them color code things. And then maybe they do a screen recording over the immersive reader aspect. And here is where it's also really great. You can do a line focus just like you can do in the park. You can expand it to multiple lines or just one line. You can have board maker on it. So when you click on it, and these don't have any pictures here. There's no pictures for these words, but what it'll do is it'll give you pictures underneath. So you'll be able to, because I turned it off, sorry. So it can give you the pictures for students to help them read it a little better. If you scroll down here, you can translate it. So you can click on a language, and this is really unbelievable. You can change it into Spanish, French, German, Portuguese, Arabic, Swedish, Tahitian, Urdu. Check this out. You can do it by word if your student is learning. Maybe they're in a later ELL class, or they just need a little bit of ELL support, or maybe they need the full support and they have a whole new language here. So this is really, really amazing tool. And then you can click back here to go back. You can record a response. So you can click on this button or you can click on this button. So I will click here, and it's very humbling because it's right there. So you have some different options in here. You have the topic card, so in case they forget their prompt. You have a sticky note where they can brainstorm what they're going to say. Then they can move this a little bit like close to the mic or close to the webcam, so it kind of looks like they're looking at the webcam while they're reading their script. We can move this anywhere we like if we have multiple. They can also record, stop, move a card, and then put another one over here. There are many options in here now. So they can upload a video. So if they recorded something in Screencastify and you wanted them to upload it, they could do that. You can do mirror video. So it's supposedly, I don't know, the kids like stuff like that. I don't know, it makes them look better. They can mute themselves. So when it's recording, it's muting. And you can screen record. So you can do something like I'm doing right now, start screen recording, and they can go into a different video or a different, maybe a Google presentation, and you can have them all in one grid. So that would make things a little bit easier for you and for sharing purposes. You can click on effects, and there's many different filters that they can use. You can go into effects again, and you can apply frames. You've probably seen this one on the news. They can just, if they're doing a zoology one, or if they're doing some type of picture one, or if they just want to be a unicorn. You can go back into effects. They can find emojis, give me the tone of the story and how you feel at one particular instance, and they can add that to their feeling. They can draw and add text. And so maybe you have them typing something here that you want them to talk about. Once they click out of it, they can move it. You have so many different things that you can do in here. And the kids can really do all of this because they're awesome. They can draw, and you can go into a whiteboard And if you want them to split the screen, let me get rid of some of this stuff. If you want them to split the screen and do their problem over here or explain something, they can do that. They can change the background to different things. It's not loading just yet, but that's okay. They can change the board. They can do a whiteboard, a chalkboard. They can just do this if they don't like to be on. They could do a storyboard on here. There's so many different things that you could do with this. You could do a PSA on here. Don't, obviously you wouldn't have a unicorn on there at that point. But I think that this has a lot of different uses. They can upload pictures. If you want, that's how Ethan does the news. He does it on Flipgrid. We did a lot of those on Flipgrid. So maybe you could do PSAs about wearing sunscreen, and they could upload different, sunscreen types and pictures and something. I don't know. I feel like there's a million things that you could do with this. So when they start recording, it counts down. Obviously, you wouldn't have all these things because it's slightly distracting. And then you can click next. Obviously, you wouldn't have all these things because it's slightly distracting. And then and they can edit it. They can add more if they want to go back to add more. And then they can click next again and submit their video. So they can upload a photo here. They can select a frame. So it's a little bit more like YouTube in that sense, where they can add their own thumbnail or they can take a selfie. Okay. Click confirm, and I always have their name in there. If they want to title it something great, if you're doing speeches, it could be women's freedom or something. Yep. And you can click submit. It will upload the video. You're all set. But sometimes this happens, and I'm actually glad that this happened, because now I can download the video and send it. This is rare though. This doesn't happen a lot. So just keep that in mind. Don't let this deter you from using it. It is very rare that this happens, but now I just downloaded the video and I can take my student back to Flipgrid. And now that I have the option to upload a clip, they can upload the video. Obviously, you wouldn't have all these. And they have it again. So that's why I always allow them to download the video. Here, let's see if it'll let us do it. And it worked. So it's, like I said, it's very rare that it does that. I don't know why it does it, but sometimes it does it. But look how easy that was for me to fix.